till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? Birmingham City, down at St Andrews, we are all supporters of our team. The Shanter Super Blues, ringing all around. Now all you blue boys know what we mean. We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? Let's hear you in the crowd, singing our song, helping and sharing the load. It's worth a point of all when we sing together. We're there at the end of the road. We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? We have the Tina's Tops here at St Andrews. They gotta give us what we're longing for. It's Birmingham forever, let's hear it from the stand. So come on, sing this song once more.
Welcome to Monday Night's Tilton Talk Show, the only show dedicated to Birmingham City and Birmingham City ladies on the planet. Special guests live in the studio tonight, Tim Andrews, CEO of the ladies, David Parker, ladies manager, Marissa Ewers, and Karina Schroeder, strategy talkers behind. Against those very good season this side in Huddersfield, the Duke once again score a sheet as Blues gather up yet another well-deserved point away from home. As for ladies, they finish their season off in style up at Sunderland and gain a very respectable fourth place finish in WSL2. International break once again disrupts this season's flow, so it's Bristol City up next at St Andrews on the 19th of November. The Tilton Talk Show will be here next week as our guest list this year grows and grows, with our listeners and watchers growing every week. We're up to around 18,500 a week at the moment, and we've come a long way since the first four on the Cat. We intend to break the 20,000 barrier, and it may well happen on tonight's show. So strap yourselves in once again and get ready for the ride as we bring you yet another Tilton Talk Show. Mr. Brown, what have you done? What have you done? He's opened the place up so we can get more guests in. This is brilliant, isn't it? Special guests in the studio tonight. Greetings once again to Mr. Tim Andrews.
Hello.
We should be bowed to you now you've been on TV and all that, like, you know what I mean? Yeah? Oh, we should? Okay. There you go. That's all we're getting.
I've been practicing all day.
Great to see David Parker in the Blues Ladies manager. And also Marissa and Karina. Marissa Ewers and Karina Schroeder.
Hey.
How are you? Now, you're live on camera, so you're allowed to smile. And that's Mr. Fun.
Who won't be smiling?
He never smiles. Chris is like this all the time. This is how he is. Every single Tilton Talk Show, this is what I have to deal with across the table. Actually, he's usually sat next to me, so I've got to look at him as well now.
It's awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Right, okay, on with the show then. What an amazing win for you guys yesterday. 7. I have the honour of calling bingo at the local British Legion club, to be perfectly honest with you, on a Sunday. And my phone's always on, and I didn't realise the game was on so late, actually, David, to be fair. And he was like, bing. I said, what do I do? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Way, get in. What cracking. Beautiful win. What a way to end the season.
Yeah, it's a fantastic way to kind of like cap off a wonderful year, really. We've gone through trials and tribulations last year and bouncing back, and a lot of critics pushed at us, and changes in personnel through staff and through players, and a lot of people wrote us off, as they usually do every season, but to come out fighting and go up toe-to-toe with the big three and real serious cash and investment behind them, it's been a great pleasure and something we can take great satisfaction in.
A 7-1 victory wasn't probably on the cards, actually, was it? It wasn't what we was expecting probably for the last game, but to achieve that, and then to achieve 4th place as well. 4th place is an absolutely astounding end to the season.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at it in terms of financing investment, because that's where you can really judge on and see if you've overachieved or not. And we should be down in the bottom one, bottom two in terms of money, cash and investment. And look at Sunderland, and I know the money that they've been talking about that they get from the men's club, significant above ourselves. So to come out with a scoreline 7-1 and absolutely demonstrate kind of like our ability of the whole squad and rotate around for the last 2 games. So to come out with the performance we did, it was thoroughly deserved, and it could have been 9, 10, 11, 12 on the day.
I think you get a round of applause from everybody. Superb job all round, all year. Now we do dedicate a slot on the Tilton Talk show every single Monday night to the Blues Ladies, and Chris is our Blues Ladies guru. So I'm going to get him to ask the first question.
My question?
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
What do you expect?
That's a tough one question. So 4th place this year. Obviously next year Blues have got new owners, but we're not expecting like 20 million through the door. So is the expectation still similarly just a challenge with the top boys again?
Yeah, I mean, internally we have our own ambitions, but obviously in terms of how we go about things slightly differently. I think we will always be in that bottom rung in terms of finances. I think, yes, the new owners will come in and hopefully that will lead to increased opportunities, not necessarily through money and pure finances that way, but the infrastructure and the backing behind us. So as it's been very much so over the last couple of years, and it's built and built. So from there, the budget will obviously set out the expectations of what we want to do, and this season was to stay in the league. That was the budget, that was the requirements, but we knew internally how good we could be, and what we were going to do, and the plan to move forward over the season, and we've executed that perfectly. So from there, we'll obviously have a sit down, look at what the budget will allow us to do, but our expectations, I want to smash the big 3. I want to break that barrier, get into the Champions League. This is what these girls next to me have come for, to play for trophies, play for titles. So that's our aim and ambition. We go into every game, we want to win. We want to win trophies. We got so close, it really a bugbear of mine. We've gone so close on 3 occasions to Super League title, to watch Man City lift that, and I'm standing there next to the coaching staff going, we should have lifted that at least twice. At least twice we should have lifted it. So there's unfinished business to do. Yeah, it's tougher, yeah, it's harder, but it can be achieved if it's done correctly.
Even though it is tougher and harder, that probably gives you more resolve to grit in more and to get more stuck in, and because that top 3 are going to be difficult to break down, whatever, because of the finances and the infrastructure that they have got. But it's I kind of compare it to the men's team, and it's the resolve of the people on the pitch and the managers and the other staff that have pulled it through.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say, definitely getting bags under my eyes, and I'm exhausted after the long trip from Sunderland, and then turning around working this afternoon as well. So it definitely makes your hair thinner, and kind of like bags under your eyes, and the resolve needs to be there, and the drive and dedication, not just from kind of like the players, but people like Tim, Steve Shipway, Heather and Kirsty, who's obviously moved on this year. That it's everyone who has to pull together. It's not kind of like any one-man band or players just go out and rock up and play. There's so much behind it that supporters won't see and won't recognise, but every person involved in moving things forward have a part to play.
We've got lots of cameras here in the Tilton Talk show tonight, and we could perhaps come along and when just before season kicks in, in your pre-season, and do a Facebook Live Tilton Talk feed, especially for the ladies, and see what you go through when you're training and your day-to-day stuff. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Come on down.
All exposure's good exposure. And we'll do that for you. Chris, it's your job.
That's mine, yeah. One-man job.
Well, you know. No, I think that'd be a great one, and because we record all these shows as well. They all get recorded. The videos get recorded, so they're always out there, and it's good to know, and it's good for supporters as well to understand what goes on behind the scenes, because quite often supporter just doesn't have a clue, not a clue. And you watch some of these programs, and sometimes you think, wow, really? You're up at 7 a.m.
But I think David Dancer was really good as well from a fan's perspective as well, because we from a fan's perspective, you look at Man City weren't even a WSL team when it was created 5-6 years ago now. Liverpool finished bottom the first 2 years and then got their investment and won it twice, and it is sort of frustrating to see teams like that come through and just throw the money at it. And obviously with the early inception of the league, if you throw money at it this early in the league, then it's shown that you can be successful. But Blues we've had that lack of finance compared to everybody else throughout the whole campaign. The 6 years, and we've always been there or thereabouts. With the exception of last year when we had a successful relegation scrap. But we've always been there, and David said that's two league titles we could have won. We won the FA Cup, but we could have won 2 or 3 Continental Cups as well. And it is it's really proud for a Blues Ladies fan to see that. The infrastructure has pretty much stayed the same all the way through, but we've managed to stay, to keep toppling teams that have got much bigger resources than us.
Marvellous. At the beginning of the season, fans were wondering if you would put a team out. What a season that was. And Edras was when was the last second City derby for the girls? Do we have a good record against them over the road?
Yeah, it's not too bad. I think the scoreline of 7-1 comes to mind the last time we played them. So I think
a bit similar to last night.
Yeah, a bit similar. So I think even if you went back over the last 15 years, I don't think a game has been lost. I'm not going to don't quote me on that, but it's extremely successful.
Don't quote or gloat.
Don't quote or gloat. Absolutely, but it is. Yeah, it's an extremely successful record against the boys next door.
Some questions coming in then. What's your aspirations for the ladies' team next season, Tim? We'll just swap the microphone over.
Switch.
I think, well, first and foremost, we've talked about cash and investment from the men's team. What we are competing against are teams that are in the Premier League, multi-million pound turnovers in comparison to Birmingham. So I think, pound for pound, actually Birmingham City men's team have actually put in more than the people that we compete with. So I think also we'll always talk about the lack of finance. Actually, what Birmingham City has done is really put us been able to put us on the map. And of course it's testament to what our team has done and the backroom staff to actually achieve what we've achieved. And I think obviously money does buy success, but actually one thing that we have done is harnessed a really good team spirit, and I've seen it over the year the way it's improved, and of course that's been that's gone through onto the pitch as well. So in terms of next year, obviously budget is relative to what we can achieve, and of course if we have the same budget as as last year, then of course that in effect is going backwards. So of course we've put in a budget request into the club and hoping that they will back us with what we want. But as David said, got to be a Champions League spot come the end of the season, and really we have got to go certainly after the FA Cup. We want a rerun of the FA Cup, which I think really is achievable.
Absolutely.
From your point of view, bringing the ladies in now, Marissa, what's your highlight of the season?
For me, it was definitely the Continental final, the Cup final, especially against Man City. It's like always a big game. The crowd was huge, the appearance, so that was a lot of fun playing in front of that appearance. And for me, it was just great to see how we do against Man City, and then so we could actually win if we got the lucky punch.
I was watching it in the pub, actually. I was working, but I got overruled, and they had to bring the big screen down in the other room, so I had to go in the other room and watch it there because there was another Premier League game on, I think. But you put on a really good performance that day. I think you were a little bit hard done to, actually, but a bit unfortunate on the day. Let's put it like that. And your good self, what's your highlight?
My personal highlight, I would say it's the league game against Liverpool.
You're a Liverpool supporter, aren't you?
Yeah,
you asked us not to
I
say
played
that.
for Liverpool and it was my debut for
She
the
was
club.
a Liverpool supporter.
Yeah, not anymore. So
if you played against Liverpool,
yeah.
and that ball was right on the edge of the line, and you had the opportunity to either miss it or hit it in, I hope you did it in, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Too right. Way
Well,
to
she
go.
scored in that game.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
Goal of
And she only celebrated a little bit.
No, I really celebrated it.
Yeah.
It was really a great game. I will never forget.
But when
that.
you score, I mean, I couldn't do it. I couldn't go up the Blues. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'll be no good. I'll be absolutely I'll be no good as a footballer. Look, I mean, but there you go. But to score against the team that you love, that must have been difficult.
I know, but if you're out
They're
for
just
so
sweet.
long to stay on the pitch and then against your old teammates, you want to show what you can, even if you're out for over a year, and then to score a goal, it's unbelievable.
I think that's one of the. I think the fans, really welcomed that day. We'd signed Karina early on in the season, wasn't it? But unfortunately, her injury meant that she couldn't make a debut, and then, fate happens that it's against the team that she played for in the WSL, and to score was amazing. You could see from the players' reaction and the backroom staff and everything that it meant so much to everybody that day. That's definitely one of the highlights of the season. That game. And it's Liverpool as well. They've done plenty to us over the years, so it was nice to get one back over them.
Yeah. How does Blues Ladies compare to any other clubs you've played for, either here or abroad?
Oh, I really think we are one family. I really like the team spirit here. When I first came, the girls were really nice to me. I settled in really well. I mean, I came not from Germany, from Liverpool. I was already in the country. It's not that I'm from Germany, so I knew the language. But yeah, it feels like a family, and I want to achieve with Birmingham, like what they said, Champions League spot next year, and I want to grow with that club. So I want to win titles.
You're not going to be silverware back in the old tail, wouldn't it, David?
Yeah, it would be. I'm going to say I've just got a box of runners-up medals, and it's just put away there.
Why haven't you got that?
For a rainy day.
I've just got lots of programmes and badges and the likes, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those that I look back, and Chris has mentioned, the amount of was it 3 in 6 years, Conti Cup finals runners-up, league runners-up medals, come so close 3 times, and an FA Cup winners medal, that you go, all these runners-up medals, you want to turn them into winners, and we've been so close.
I can't wait to see your face live on Sky, and when it happens, when the big day comes, you know what I mean? Because I think you'll be doing gambols in the centre circle.
Yeah, I was going to say there's some embarrassing celebrations after the FA Cup win, but hopefully they've been buried on YouTube by now.
No, I could dig a few up for you. I'm sure they're still about. Go on, Chris.
Yeah, for Marissa as well. Obviously, Karina mentioned about coming in, but she'd already played for Liverpool. So for yourself, who was playing in the German league and coming into Blues, how was that for you? Coming into the WSL.
Yeah, I was excited to see how the league is over here, and I knew that like Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, but also Birmingham are good teams, big teams, and Birmingham played in Champions League, so I knew about the club and the league, and was just excited to see how the girls are doing, and they were so open to us, and that was easy to settle in. And my old team was young too, quite young, but this team is younger, but I definitely have to say that the young girls are so talented, and that's impressive, actually.
Absolutely. I think that's definitely a positive for the future that Marissa mentioned, the youth in the team, and it is one of the youngest squads in the league, and it's there's players there that you could think are going to be at the top level for the next 10-15 years, to be fair, so the longer they stay at Blues the better. Yeah,
you can't tell how old they are.
No,
how they are reacting on the field, how they lead the team, and
I can't. Every time I watch her, it amazes me that Chloe Peplow is only like 17. Is she still 17 or 18?
Yeah, she's got a couple more weeks to 18.
It stuns me that she's 17. She's. I think the setup for Kirsty's first goal, wasn't it? I watched the highlights today, and muscled off the midfielder in the middle and played a beautiful pass through. She could do that for the next 15 years. She'll be, and there's plenty of others like that, Aoife and Jess Carter as well. But so for such a young squad, it's really exciting for the next few years.
One question just come in from Nikki Singh. Have you noticed a difference with the Birmingham support? Obviously, since moving from Stratford into the Solihull.
Yeah, it's definitely got better in terms of the vocal support, and definitely seen kind of like a bigger kind of like a bigger following as well. So in terms of numbers, attendances, and more local support, and I think that's brought in a different kind of fan base than what we had from Stratford. And
it was a bit far out, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
no
a bit
disrespect to it, like,
yeah,
but, it was a bit too far to go to, if you know what I mean.
I think at the time it was the right thing. It was a lovely venue, a lovely setting for the start of the Super League era. But as everything in life, you have to move forward and look forward to bring into Solihull and bring into a Birmingham-based area where the fans are. So within there, we have to give full credit to the supporters that keep growing and growing, the base that they're building, the innovative songs that they're coming up with. They're following us up and down the country, and you look at the support that we had on the Conti Cup final. I think they sold almost, was it the 800 team of the allocation of all there. So that's pretty much the home support plus the others that were scattered around. So the more that we can get fans down there, the more that we can pack out Solihull Moors and kind of like really start tipping those attendances up from 1,200 to 1,500 to 1,700. That makes a huge difference. You've seen kind of like the likes of Man City, the noise and the atmosphere that can be created. We've really got to get as many Blue supporters down there, and if it's people that have never seen women's football or don't hold it in the highest regard, just come down, give it one game, give it just half of a half.
I can't believe how hard they are. They're nutters.
So
I mean, if Burnley's hit me with a tackle, I'd snap.
Yeah, and it is ferocious in terms of it's not the pace of the men's game. We're not pretending that it is the men's game. It's different. But I think once you've had a taste of the bug and got over maybe that little bit of prejudice, that little bit of kind of like, oh, the ladies is there, the men's there, and take it for the game of what it is. Give it 20 minutes, give it half an hour. Come down if you don't like it, fair enough. But come in.
Get a Marissa tackle.
Yeah.
Behind you.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want one. You wouldn't want. I mean, they're crunching. I mean, they scare the life out of me. I'm glad I'm watching.
Some people call me Rocky, by the way.
Rocky. You're not going to live that down now. You know that, don't you? So, what is the average attendance at the moment then?
Well, I think the last game we had 15 or nearly 1,500.
Right.
But in all honesty, we do need a lot more than that. I'm putting my CEO hat on there. A lot of those tickets are comps, or where we've actually done some ticket deals. So we do really, like my plea to the Birmingham public is really get behind the girls. I don't know this for sure, but I think as a professional football club, I think we're probably the most successful in the Midlands, I'd say. Comparing all the men's teams. So there is something really special going on down in Solihull, and it literally is on the doorstep of many Birmingham City fans. So we just urge all the guys on the Tilton to come down with their wives, their girlfriends, their daughters, and their sons. It's a totally different product to the men's game, but it is more of a family day, and I think it's a nice Sunday afternoon out, and obviously it's the end of the season now, and of course we've now got to wait till next year, but. My plea really is to all the Birmingham City fans to come down and really support the girls, because without their support, not only obviously the atmosphere, but we need the funds to build the team and carry on forward, and the pace that the game is going at the moment. We're right at the forefront, so it'd be a real shame for us to get left behind. And you look at some of the bigger teams, the Man Cities, the Chelseas, the Arsenals. They are getting a lot more people down at the grounds than we are. So. Without being, and obviously we are very respecting of the support that we do get, and it is increasing. We do need more.
From the player perspective, I always say the supporters are our 12th man. They're really, really important for us. They cheer us on, and that's really important that we need more from them. So, yeah.
A real Tilton army.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
We've had the debate here many, many times over atmosphere. And atmosphere. I think we've come to the conclusion and agreement that atmosphere is pretty much self-generating. And I've been working in clubs all my life, and if I do a party in a room, there's 180 spaces in that room, and there's only 30 people turn up. It's not going to go so well. Yeah, if there's 180 spaces and 180 people turn up, you're on a winner straight away. So, okay. Is there anything we can do to help boost attendance? I mean, we mentioned the Blues Ladies every single Monday. It's always a slot on our show every single week, and that's been now certainly over for the duration that you've been here, Chris.
I think I actually think you and Radio WM are in all honesty the guys. the guys that have really backed us.
Can you cut that?
Edit that one, Chris.
But no, in all honesty, you know, they've given us support as well as you guys
Yeah,
have.
they do, yeah.
But there's a lot of
I know
other
they've
stations
done
out there
live
that haven't.
commentaries
They
as
have,
well,
yeah,
haven't
yeah,
they?
they have,
So,
yeah. You know, so is there any more you can do? No, not really. You're doing your bit. It's my plea to the Tilton Army to really get behind us and bring their wives down. Don't compare it against the men's game. It is a different product.
And it's a day out as well, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
You know, I mean, it's so easy to get. You're down the A45, turn right, and keep right onto the end of the road. There you go.
Did you rehearse that one there?
He's
No,
worked
no,
on
actually,
that all day.
top of the head,
All
yeah,
day he's
top
been
of the
working on that one.
Written on my hand.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But I mean, from the fans' perspective, again, I keep coming back to it for me. But like the two games that the Man City Cup final, I think that those two blocks that we had, you know, we were definitely. I felt we were louder for the majority of the game up until the point they scored. But yeah, I look back to the Tiraso semi-final. You know, over 2,000 people there. I think that was, and we held one of the best teams in the world with some of the best players in the world at that time to a 0-0 draw.
We had 3,000, I think.
Was it over? Yeah, the Arsenal one and the quarter final.
And in all fairness, at the back in, you know, when we played that game, we were, you know, there's a lot more people know about the Blues Ladies now than they did then.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
So in real terms, you know, the potential is 4,000 or 5,000. I would say if we're in the same fixture again.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. The Liverpool game in the quarter final this year, the Continental Cup, there was a decent crowd for that one. You know, and when it gets down to the nitty gritty last 10 minutes or so, and it's, you know, and you're looking for that extra push, and obviously the more fans at your ground, the more the players are going to respond to that. So definitely a play from.
And not only that, you know, we can attract bigger, and it's not for me to say that, but I'm sure David will agree. You know, we can attract, you know, more of the better players, you know, the bigger crowds that we get. So it sort of works in, you know, it's a big circle really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, completely agree.
Nothing like it, though, atmosphere of football, is there? There's nothing like it. And you've only got to talk about the Blues and like the stick on the arms. They always have done. They always will do. It's just one of them things that I can't control. And anything to do with that badge, right? Whether it's got the ladies on it or the men's on it, it don't matter to me. That's what the passion is. That's what support is. Yeah. And you know, you just get that one end, say behind the goal, where the stand is, that, you know, rocking around there, and get these guys. You know, it must be so much better to play when there's noise, and there's a lot of noise, and there's a good atmosphere going on.
How does it compare to the German leagues, for example? The crowds I know that the French and the American leagues get quite good attendances. Is it the same in Germany? Are the attendances bigger there as well?
I think in some clubs they have really, really good support, like Potsdam, Frankfurt, like the top, who actually achieved something before. They have really, really good support, but like all the smaller clubs, they need to grow as well. Like the supporters, they need, like for example, Zand. Nobody really knows them. So it's hard for them, to be fair, to get supporters. But everyone started when they were little. So I think.
What's the biggest crowd you played in front of?
Oh, that was in Berlin. It was the final of the cup final, and after the men's place, so it was 60,000, I think, in the end.
Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Scary.
I mean, most of them were Bayern Munich fans, and
Yeah.
I think Stuttgart played there. But one team was for us, and the other. In the end, we were all walked like around, and everyone was clapping, and we did our wave
Just
and
to have them
everything.
there would
It was
be,
crazy, yeah, unbelievable.
That's
I
what we
got
want,
really goosebumps.
Yeah, I
It
do
was
every time.
crazy,
Every
yeah.
time.
Great that you can play before the men's final in the Berlin Olympic Stadium.
Yeah,
great.
that is a big thing.
What about yourself? Was that the biggest crowd you played in front of?
No, not me.
Not me.
No, unfortunately not. No, maybe 3,000 or 4,000.
Yeah.
Not a lot. Yeah. If you play against Frankfurt or something,
I played.
you get a big
there
crowd.
we go.
Oh, here we go.
I played in front of 1.5 million last Saturday. Beat that one.
Yeah, it was crap as well.
I saw you wanted to shoot, and it went everywhere.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Who's my brother?
Yeah.
You're more into cycling, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll stick to cycling.
Tim, what the hell's bells is it like to meet on Sky? What the hell's bells like to meet on Sky? Helen Chamberlain.
What was she like?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was quite a nice girl. We had a great day, really, really awesome day. She definitely wasn't the highlight of the day. We had such fun, but just the whole thing. Obviously, my penalty shootout was not the highlight.
It will be on YouTube, and I'll have to.
Yeah,
It was the highlight of most of our days, I think.
Yeah.
I had a couple of comments about your volleys as well.
But honestly, I swear, I mean, I hadn't kicked a ball for
Always the
probably
experience.
10 years. But I have to say, when they throw it onto the net, you just don't know where the ball's going to be.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm not the most agile, and I really found it difficult. It was 10 times harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
See how much you appreciate these guys, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. No, I have to say, I do need to do a few more practices.
So how did you manage to go onto that then?
Well, we literally it was the day before. Chris,
Highly organised.
so I didn't have much time to practice. A friend of mine, Chris O'Brien, was contacted by Sky through Twitter, and before we knew it, we got, of course, all the Blues and the Villa lads. We all knew each other. We were all friends, and they took us down on the night before. Which, I suppose, you think about it, I don't know why they take six Blues fans, 6 Villa fans on the train the night before, put them up in a pub, put them in a hotel opposite a pub, and then collected at 8:30 in the morning. You're never going to be the freshest. But it was a great day, and the Villa boys, they won the money on the quiz, £500. So they bought us all a beer, or 2 or 3, yeah, it was really good fun. But we beat them. We beat the Villa in the penalty shootout. Obviously, it's a team game, so
Good job.
Yeah.
so I didn't really score any. No, in fact, I did have a cheeky left footer. Did you see that one going? But that one didn't count.
No, unfortunately I was at work, so I didn't get the opportunity. But
no,
I am going to go home.
It was great fun.
I am going to go home and YouTube.
Anybody
it
gets the
later.
opportunity of doing it, then they should, because it's a great day.
Yeah.
Plenty of banter and all that.
Loads of banter. Helen Chamberlain called me Charlie Nicholas, which I've actually had loads of times right throughout my life. But people keep calling me Charlie Nicholas. But
I think he looks more like the guy, the war correspondent of Sky News. What's his name?
No, no.
Who? Do you know the one I mean? No.
No.
You have to look him up. I'll find him in a minute.
Can't be that many good-looking blokes around.
I'll find him.
So from the obviously that was leading up to the Blues Villa derby. Did you get to go to it? Were you at that game? Your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I was there actually. It was the first time I've actually put the men before the women. In truth,
Yeah.
'cause obviously the girls were playing. At the same
Yeah,
time.
Man City. Yeah.
So yeah, what did I think of it? I thought it was a great game. I think we were unlucky not to win that
Yeah.
game. I think if it was a boxing match, we would have won by quite a few points. But I think everybody before the game would have settled for a draw.
I think going 1-0 down, yeah, especially
Yeah,
going behind.
I mean it was a great goal to be fair, but
Mm.
massively against the run of play. But I think, all things considered, I think it was a decent point.
Yeah.
Did you guys get to go to the game, the Blues Villa game?
No, they were playing.
The Blade.
They were playing Man City, right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Would you say you've obviously you understand the derby between Blues and Villa? Is there any game that you played in Germany or before? Would you have played in a Liverpool-Everton one?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you play in one of those?
Yeah, it was my first game actually.
Oh, was it your
Was
debut?
straight
Oh,
away
it's not a bad
debut.
way to come in. Yeah. Is there one in Germany like that as well, where you the fierce rivals?
Yeah, it's like Cologne against Leverkusen because it's like 20 minutes
Oh,
away
is it?
from
Yeah,
each other,
yeah.
so that's a big game usually.
Yeah. It's definitely the one. They're the type of games you want to play in, though, isn't it? The battles between the close rivals and things like that.
Yeah, your motivation is high and you
Yeah.
just want to win and
Yeah,
get those
that's
points.
it, yeah.
They're always difficult to play.
Yeah.
and no, Dennis, I didn't mean Kane Burley.
No, not quite.
Right. Okay, season's done now then. So what does the winter hold for you?
A lot of preparation. Really
When's that
now,
start?
as soon as we get the budget.
Right.
But no, it's already started. The preparations and the forethoughts. So the girls are staying around for a week. Yes, they finish the season. There's a lot of stuff they need to do. They're testing, going through the medical protocols before we sign them off to go on the holidays back to Germany and kind of like spend some time with their family over Christmas. So
you have to have a medical at the end of the season?
Yeah, we're going
something else you
through.
didn't know. You know,
Yeah, going through and just making sure they're signed off so we know where they're at as well.
Right, yeah.
And then we're going into kind of like contract extension talks, really. That'll be a big key part of it. Pretty much all the girls are under contract for the next 12 months anyway, so it's more of renegotiating terms, and we've got to try and juggle this spring series and 18-month lead into the Winter League. So as a lot of clubs will have, the girls' contracts will be up generally around the December 17 marker because they fall at the end of the summer season. So now you've got to kind of like work around it, look at extensions. There's all sorts of protocol that the FA are trying to finalise of extending them forward by 6 months, etc., and renegotiating them. So there's certain things we need to follow along with that legally. But with a lot of the girls, they're all under contract anyway, so it's more for us planning for the future, going ahead and making sure we go into the spring series really and we can go firing towards the FA Cup. But then also planning for the winter season. So it will be an extended pre-season tournament, to be honest, the league campaign. But it's a great opportunity for us to kind of like step on from where we have done this season. That it's another 6 months of growth for the football club, making sure all the right bits and pieces are in place, like we say, to go break that top 3 when it matters.
You highlighted on that, again, like I said, something I didn't know. The girls have a medical at the end of the season. I take it then they have one at the beginning of the next season. So contractually, I suppose is there a level of fitness that they must come back to?
There's nothing that's ever written in there.
Nope.
It's just making sure we have the best duty and welfare for the players.
So we can't
Yeah.
eat that much over Christmas.
Yeah. But it's also to reevaluate where we've come from. We've made the transition from essentially part-time football into full-time football, and we've gone through the growing pains that we knew we were going through. Every club that's made that, they've had injuries, they've had setbacks, and there's been up and down, and the loading on the girls to be going from training 2-3 times a week to training every day, double sessions, everything else you can imagine that goes with being a full-time professional footballer, that the extra stress and load on the body, and I'm sure Chris will say from
That's something I don't understand.
the performances from the girls, the increase in our fitness levels and the actual physical presence that we have on a pitch now compared to last season, that going toe-to-toe for Man City for 120 and a further 90 minutes, and Man City are the benchmark physically, that we actually match them for that period, and no other club's been able to do that, and we need to make more gains, more strides to enable that, because that's a key factor in being successful.
Marvellous.
Well, over the space of 3 weeks, like David said, they played us for 210 minutes,
right.
and they beat us 1-0 with a goal, from a set piece. So, we've matched them over 90 minutes. They couldn't beat us, and David said they are the team that everybody looks to. That the physicality, the strength, the size of them, everything. Obviously, they've got the resources to work on their fitness and everything like that. So it's testament to the management staff and the players, that they could go over the course of 90 minutes in the space of 3 weeks. Man City couldn't beat us twice.
I wonder if we could do it, Chris. Me and
you. I'm going to go for no.
What do you reckon, Dave?
Just
I'm going to call the loading card out and go get struggle.
Yeah, I'm probably going to say no on that.
I'd come out on crutches, I think.
Yeah.
It took me a week to get over 3 penalty shootouts.
How many balls did you kick?
3.
Oh dear. Yeah. Yes, no, I think that's something we'll leave to you guys. You're the professionals.
Just a question from me, David. The spring series you mentioned there, obviously with the change to the Winter League next season, are the FA finalised fixtures and games for that? Do we know what's actually going to be happening in that spring series?
Yeah, we've got some confidential dates of internally within the FA of when the fixtures will be announced to us, and then there's a lot of back and forth because obviously the sharing of men's grounds, etc. That things need to be renegotiated before it's finally released to the general public. But we have the calendar. We have a general start date for the Winter League as well, so the FA will announce that, I'm sure, when the time's right. But we do have a planner to go to. Obviously, there's some flexibility, and whether you play on Saturdays, Sundays, or is the midweek games at Wednesday, Thursday. So we can't really nail anything right down right at the moment. But what we can do is start for pre-season and the date that the girls will be back into work, and for the staff. So while they're enjoying the holidays, we're frantic. I say frantically. It's always kind of like a mad dash at the end to get things ready and done. But the more planning and preparation we can do, the better place these girls will be to go perform at their best again.
Absolutely.
We'll read all comments out, good and bad. Ladies football is not a priority to the FA, unfortunately. The league setup is a shambles. 2 divisions is not enough. There's no excitement, no drama in England. It's not the players' fault, it's a setup. Shame on the FA, really. More should be done. But until more excitement is in it, people won't watch it.
I wouldn't necessarily go along with that, to be honest.
Right.
You've got the WPL as well, which is an FA league. You know, obviously the 2 WSL leagues are there, but then you've got there's going to be promotion from that, isn't there? Because Sheffield come up, so you get promotion from the WPL to the WSL now. So I think they are trying to incorporate the lower leagues as well.
More popular. And the push from the FA, I think women's is probably their number one agenda, to push the women's game, because let's not forget it was banned by the FA for a long period of time. That they're trying to do everything in terms of equality, but to do the right thing. And it's not about chucking money at it, it's trying to build the profile of the game. But if you don't want excitement, we've taken the league title down to 3 years out of the last 6, the last day of the season. There was us, Arsenal, Chelsea going for the league, 3 teams. You don't see that in men's football. We've had penalty shootouts in the FA Cup. I mean, there's been plenty of drama. Don't get us wrong on that. There is excitement. It may not be your cup of tea, but definitely a lot of excitement to go in there if you get ingrained into it.
So there you go, Carl Fitzharris. Not long to have a game.
FA Cup finals at Wembley. You know, they are trying, to be fair. You know,
I think the only thing I'd say that perhaps the FA could potentially do more for the game is look at the fixtures. I think, you know, we can go 3 weeks without a game.
It's a bugbear, isn't it?
In a week. You know, and of course you talk about loading on players. You know, I know all the teams have got the same. You know, they're up against the same issues, but I think more evenly spread fixtures throughout the year. Not only would it be better for the fans' pocket, and so they can afford to come to all the games. But I think it would actually be better for the game as well, because you sort of lose a little bit of momentum. You know, when you've got long periods where there is no games, or are no games. So, you know, I think there is work to still be done by the FA. But I actually think, you know, compared to where we were six years ago. You know, I think they've come massive. You know, and there is a the FA are wanting to. Their strategy is to win the World Cup by 2022, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, 23.
23, is it? You know, and they're putting in a lot of, you know, the infrastructure, and not talking just at the professional level, but down for the 8-year-olds. You know, there's a real pathway now for youth talent to come through. You know, and that's, you know, it is a career for girls going forward.
If this
sister clubs as well, the sister club initiative.
If this is an issue like with the 3-week gaps, then why don't the teams get together and take that up with the FA?
They are working on it. They are definitely working on it. There has always been, well, quite often, lots of reasons for it. It's not because somebody's, you know, in the ivory tower not doing their job right. There has been other influences that have caused it.
Because we've had issues like on this show where we have like the international break causes an issue because we don't have so much to talk about. So we then tend to go over and talk about the international scene a little bit more on that day. But then the only other time we're shut down is when Chris is on holiday. And we've now tested that I can do it straight from my house now. So
Chris gets more holidays.
Yeah.
But I think with a 9-team league, where, you know, there's only 8 home games in that league. And I think we had 3 in the space of a week, didn't we, this season? So, you know, like you said, from a fan's perspective, when you've got 8 home games in the season and 3 of them come within a week, it's...
And not only that as well, from a management playing staff point of view, you got a player out or 2 players out injured. You know, you could actually end up being out for a third or a half of a season, you know, just with a minor injury.
Do you expect this to be resolved this coming season?
Hopefully. Hopefully. Obviously going from the summer season to the winter season. There's lots of change happening in the game, so of course, there's going to be this spring series. We really don't know how that's going to look yet, because it's just too soon to, and we've just not really been given the exact format. But that's going to be quite interesting to see. But of course, there's the FA Cup as well, which we're going to be winning, aren't we?
Yeah.
You want that, don't you?
Just a day at Wembley.
I mean, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I was lucky enough to be involved in that when we won it last time, and I was invited into the dressing rooms for a team talk before the game, and just to be part of it was just amazing, and that sort of gave me the bug, I think, for the whole ladies' game. Really, from that day forward, I've never looked back. But just to do that at Wembley would just be amazing.
It'd be incredible, yeah.
So let's hope.
That's the day I won't forget. That Ashton game.
Yeah,
amazing.
it was an awesome day. But no disrespect to Bristol City, it was.
No, well, that's the thing. You could replicate
to do that at Wembley would just be. I'm getting shivers now talking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I see that the smile on Mr. Parker's face, the desire, the want, and just the intentions to give it your all next year on that trophy, because it came so close.
Yeah, it is, and it's just a day. I mean, for the fans, for the players. I mean, it'll be, if we get there, and we'll give it everything we can over the period. And you never know, you may get a lucky draw. I mean, I know there's a certain club that got an unbelievable draw on the way to Wembley one year.
Which one was that?
I don't know. I forget now.
I know.
But you might get a lucky draw. You never know, or you might get an extremely difficult draw, and your hands get tied. But for the players to play at Wembley, I know even the German girls sitting next to us, that to play at Wembley's a bit something special.
Would that be your ultimate dream in football?
Yeah, it would be a dream. Yeah, I think for all the players.
Yeah.
But for me, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, it was my dream as a kid to go with Birmingham City, and of course, like year after year after year, we were never going to do anything, were we? And then that great opportunity came up with the Leyland F Cup final, and 50,000 people travelled down there for that day. Just
I think you get that sort of support as well from the men's.
I think you'd have.
as well,
If you got to Wembley, I think the crowd would be massive.
Yeah.
I think it would be massive.
Because
I think like
the power of social media and everything, I think you could take loads of Blues fans down.
And that would be, maybe that's what we need, to get people hooked and to really get on board with the ladies' game.
Love it.
Well, I said about the England internationally for people to be interested in women's football, it needed a successful international campaign, and we got it at the World Cup, and the crowds were huge for. When we come back, and the interest definitely has grown since that World Cup campaign. And like Tim said, I'm sure if Blues got to the FA Cup final at Wembley, then the Blues fans would definitely, get behind that.
Just
and
to be able to write that on your CV, I'll walk down Wembley Way in anger. The tunnel.
Yeah,
God, I love it. Oh, I wish I was young again.
So do I.
And skillful.
And skilled, yeah. I'm 2 left feet, honestly. I'm the worst footballer you could ever wish to meet. It's something I just couldn't do.
You're good at bingo, don't you?
Do you know my bingo? The ladies love me at bingo. They do, David. They absolutely love me at bingo. I don't just do a bingo show. I do a comedy show for them as well.
Oh my word!
And they absolutely love it.
There's no wedding ring there, so if that's your angle,
well, yeah. But just because they're old doesn't mean to say they can't laugh.
Yeah.
That's why we entertain him.
Probably going to say something else then.
Listen, I've got a guy called Leonard Edgington who's listening. Well, he's actually watching live. Find the nearest camera and give him a smile.
Where?
There, right. Leonard's listening from Queensland in Australia. There you go. Well done to the ladies' team. Onwards and upwards for next season. Keep right on. Leonard, if you could tell us if it's nice and warm where you are, we'd all be very jealous.
I'm going to go for yes on that one.
Oh, we come over.
Can you put us all up?
Season tour.
Had an opportunity to go and work there many years ago, Tim. No,
Yeah.
I couldn't do it because I got home, Googled spiders in Queensland.
Oh, yeah.
And huntsman spiders. I had to go back to the boss, can't do it. So not only can't I play football, I couldn't work in Australia either. So there you go. One disastrous.
It's a good job we let you in there.
You didn't let me in. I forced my way through the door with the crowbar. So Leonard listens in Queensland, Australia. I dare say it's morning there. It's probably tomorrow now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
It's
Yeah.
going to be warm then.
It's got to be tomorrow, isn't it? Already, so it's weird, isn't it? Thinking that somebody's watching the sun right now, listening to the Tilton Talk Show. There you go. For yourself, David, what? How did you start your managing career?
I suppose the first proper managerial opportunity was here at Birmingham.
Yeah. How long ago?
Through. That were from the reserve team back in its old format was 2010.
That was a male team.
No, that was with the girls.
Right.
So in terms of managerial, but coaching before that was a good fair few years coming through the ranks, obviously working towards my badges, and then was in America and then came back to this country to finish off my A licence and look for different opportunities. And an opportunity with the girls came up, and thanks to Mark Skinner for that opportunity. When it came up, and I've never looked back. It was just something that was different. Wanted to coach female players, always been worked with kind of like male players from there, but to have an opportunity to coach different people, different personalities, that's what I wanted at that time. And then it's just escalated from there. Did one season with the reserves, a very successful campaign, and then straight into the first team for the start of the Super League era, and that was it.
Something that confuses me a little bit when you say I went and did my badges. No, it's a phrase I hear so often. And it's a phrase that a lot of us just don't understand what it means to do your badge.
I suppose imagine going through your GCSEs,
Yep.
and then you go and do your A levels, and then you go and do your degree, and then you do your masters, and then you do your PhD sort of thing. So it's kind of like you work your way up through that rung really of qualifications. So it's probably similar. Probably the best way I can describe it is education. It is, and you go all the way through, and you mix ideas off different coaches while you're there, and yeah, it's a very kind of closed rung at times, and kind of like lots of frustration felt by a lot of coaches going through that process. But when you're out and you kind of look back and reflect, you go, you know what, that was a hell of a lot of information you took on in a short period of time, and to go through there, and that process can be quite long.
So how long does it take, or is it something that you can stretch out at?
It's indefinite. I mean, for myself, I went from literally the level 1 all the way through to my A licence within 5 years, which is extremely quick. To go through, I mean, normally you need good 3, 4, 5, 6, some people are in 10 years between different areas, but to do it in that time frame was very, very quick at such a young age. And I remember the tutors that I knew really well through there, they were basically going, "You young, you got time." And it's like, "No, I want to do it now. I'm ready. I want to do it." And no, you got time. Don't worry, don't rush it. And I was like, "No, I want to do it." But that's what you face. And I suppose anything from a young manager, young coach, is you got time on your side. Well, you never know how much time you got left, so I want to do it and get it done now.
Very right there. Do you actually get a physical badge then at the end of it?
A physical certificate that's tucked away
So
somewhere.
there's no badge?
No badge itself. It's,
See what I mean?
it's,
There you go. That's answered my question.
Yeah.
I've got to work for my badges and I take no badge at the end of it. I'd be disappointed, Chris, wouldn't you?
Put it on your jacket.
Yeah. The badge, mate. Like, your 5-year badge there, look.
Yeah, essentially all it is just it's a certificate, the same
Right.
as anything that you get, and it goes on a system at the FA to recognise that that's the level that you're at. So just on
I
a
know
system.
you guys are looking, you've got youth on your side, but would coaching be something you'd be interested in at the end of your playing careers?
For me, before I signed for Liverpool, I was actually on a course to do the B or C license, but then I had to cancel it and went to Liverpool. So definitely, if I go back to Germany, then definitely I would do it. Yeah.
And what about yourself?
I used to train kids. They were like 5 to 10 years old. It was fun, but in the future I would like to see more the point of view of the CEO, so the management point of view. Yeah. Just to see how the work is like, and
Well, that's what it was about. Then can Tim give me a wave all the way to Daventry? There you definitely go. And James Brown, I'll have a wave down in Paul Bournemouth as well.
Is he on my boat?
James Brown. Yeah. And can I have a wave from the house next door? There you go. So we get everybody listening to this from next door neighbours to Australia.
Yeah.
I think we go out on average about 28 different countries a week, don't we, Chris? Something like that.
And Warrington?
And Warrington, of course, Warrington. We must never forget Warrington. Yeah, yeah. So for the foreseeable future, then it's going to be all hands to deck. Any holidays planned or likes?
I want to get away, but unfortunately, when we talk about finances, I still have a full-time job in the men's game. So this is.
So what do you do for men's games then?
I work for a company called Prozone. It works with different recruitment, analytics, sports science, and data. Really, so work with a lot of the big Premier League teams across there on different aspects. Each club is very different to what they require, and been doing that for almost 7 years now. And it's been a great combination, and they've given me a lot of flexibility with my work to be able to do this, and can't thank them enough for it. But it is, I mean, Birmingham City life is my spare time, it's my social life, and it is trying to pull the two together, and both are very accommodating to that. So it's a difficult rung, trying to do it all the time. Like today we got back, I was in bed I think 1:30. In the end I was up 6:30 this morning doing 7 o'clock work for kind of like Prozone, getting stuff done after the weekend games and trying to get everything that I needed to get done. And it takes a lot out of you.
Working then for Prozone and taking you around to all the Premier League setups, I suppose that gives you quite a good insight into how different people run different things.
Huge insight to the different clubs up and down the country, and I say it's not about name dropping, but coming from the very, very top of the game, you're in there sitting to the people that you can listen, you can learn off, that you can take ideas to, that you can bring back to the girls. And I think it's been the stuff that we've had with myself and Marcus, that we've been able to come from that side of the game to grow where the ladies game is growing, to bring that knowledge in from the very, very top, to know where we want to get to. Has helped, I think, massively in our success to go forward. So the more you can learn, you learn every day. You'll make mistakes along that road as well, but to go there and people I can lean on, pick a phone call up and go, you know what about this, has this worked, and try this, and pick those ideas up along the way has been massively helpful.
Ray wants to know if you use data for the ladies' teams.
Unfortunately we don't. I'd love to. Basically we'd love a GPS system in terms of tracking and monitoring the girls. All it is very subjective from us, and that's an art in itself. So fair play to Steve Hockham and Cole Green and Ellie Maybury and Francis Bunce before them, who's worked on kind of a medical sports science side. So it is very subjective, and we do our best to try and objectify that, but we could make so many more gains if we had. But then also the use of data from ourselves at Prozone, it's been sparing games when we've played in whether it's be at St Andrews or men's stadiums down at Bristol for the cup final. We've been able to use data then, but not on a regular basis. There's certain work that I do.
So, sorry, are the shirts microchipped or something then, or?
Basically, there's loads. I don't want to bore you, but there's cameras. There's cameras in certain stadiums.
Right.
Basically, all the Premier League and Championship grounds, and a couple of League One that have the cameras set in the ground. There's also GPS units now that you can have with vests, and they're in the back of the vests underneath the shirts. There is technology available, like you say, it can be stitched into shirts and different chips that you can have and put in boots that's progressing very quickly. So there's a lot, and that's more on the sports science side. But in terms of technical data and how many passes you made on a basic level, that would be great to bring into the girls and really objectify them. But there's certain things that I do behind the scenes where we can objectify performance. But it is not on the level that I'd like it to be, and that's purely financial.
Expensive piece of kit then?
Hugely.
Really?
Yeah.
What about having 11 chaps there? Like, just you did 10 yards there.
But I think that's that. You know, again, that's the gap between the big teams in the WSL and, you know, and the rest of us. Basically, I know Arsenal have got it, haven't they? Because I think a lot of their fans talk about it. So, you know, in an ideal world, everybody would have that, but that's not what we're playing with at the moment. But again, every time we mention about what we haven't got and what these other teams have got, it's even more testament to the players and the staff that we're still punching with them, and we're still giving it a right good go alongside them. So, you know, again, it's credit to everybody at the club that we keep talking about what we haven't got, but what we have got is a team that is competing and that is capable of beating these teams on our day. So.
Yeah.
One thing I did notice when I went to the ground is that, and I'm not knocking it, just a suggestion, right, is the PA system isn't the best.
Yeah.
And I noticed this as well when I'm at St Andrews. I'm critical at St Andrews as well, because when you're at Tilton Road, you just can't hear it. You
What was
can't
that?
hear it. Sorry? The PA system.
Fell for it. He's fallen for it.
Yeah, you better watch your step, hasn't he? I'll say him on you. And I think pre-match entertainment at St Andrews can be pretty poor because of the fact that you can't hear. I'm not disrespecting the guy who does. I think he does a great job, but it just doesn't. You know, you want to. That's the minute that you want it whipped up in it, and 2-3 minutes beforehand, and then when the team comes out, and we don't seem to be able to create that at St Andrews, and you certainly don't seem to be able to create it at the Moors either. Is there any plans to change it and put something better in?
Well, it is actually one of my bugbears, and one of the things that I wanted to do this year, but in fairness failed, was to actually create that family atmosphere before the game and at half time. I got a pal of mine, Phil Upton, who's he's quite well known in the radio circles locally, to come and do.
Oh,
the
that
PA.
Phil Upton, yeah.
And in fairness to him, about 30 people can hear the PA. So it's actually almost a waste of money.
It reminds me of that horn we used to have in the corner of St Andrews back in the 70s. You wouldn't remember that, you're far too young.
It is a real issue. But unfortunately, it's the Moors that it's their ground, it's their facility.
Right.
It is something that we keep saying that we need, but this big investment from the Moors, and unfortunately, they're not prepared to do it at the moment. There's obviously a lot more pressing things that they need to do. And they're working to tight budgets. So really, we're in their hands. But I totally agree with you. We could really create a real big buzz.
Is there any reason we can't bring some mobile kit in on match days?
Well, it's not in fairness, it's not my bag, but
yeah.
maybe there is something that can be done on a temporary basis.
I just genuinely, it's part of my bugbear, honestly. I mean, you go to places like
I totally agree.
I hate to say it, the Golden Black place up the road. Yeah, their PA system there is incredible. It just blows you away before the start of the game. And I think to create that,
I think it goes back to what I was saying. Creating this match day atmosphere. It's not just about the football; it's everything that goes around it. And to create a day that the kids that will remember, and of course the PA is part of it. So I totally agree, and it is something that I will be asking again if we can look at it. Because if you've got any ideas, then or any Blues fans who are listening that have got that facility that could be bought in, cheaply, then we're all.
When you give up your DJing.
When I give up the DJing, yeah. I think currently, just in the small club that I'm still working in, I've got enough amplification there for 7,600.
Could have a game of bingo at half time as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, why not? Yeah.
I'll draw the crowds in.
Would you come, Chris? For
No.
bingo?
I'd go.
I know you don't like
I'd go
fun, do you?
outside, I think.
He doesn't like
Yeah.
fun.
Is bingo a game played in Germany?
Bingo
Yeah.
during the game.
No.
Is it?
Halftime.
No, is it? I
No,
didn't know whether it was like an English game or an American
I
game
think-
and not played in Germany. I know my son. Is that a daft question? Do you play
We
bingo
don't-
in Germany?
Yeah, we do,
Yeah.
but it's not popular. So I don't know.
It's not
place to
popular
go.
here either.
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't be bringing any of the bingo skills to it.
No, good call.
Yeah. Could you imagine a bingo caller? No, it wouldn't work, would it? No.
No.
But yeah, the pre-match experience for me, it's like I say, it's massive. It's something that I just want to. I want to be able to hear it thumping off my chest. You know what I mean? It's the build-up. It's like when you're down in Wembley. But sorry.
Stand might fall down if it's that loud.
temporary stand.
Bingo now, are we?
No. What, do you want a game? You look old enough.
He's got his marker pad ready.
You look old enough. It's a dibber, please.
Dibber,
You like
sorry.
bingo wings. You have to have bingo wings as well.
I think it's a dabber.
A dabber, is it? A dabber down here, dibber up there. I don't know.
Dabber.
I don't know. But yeah, for me that's massive because again, go down to Wembley for the Carling Cup final and the build-up and everything that was there, and then when they showed that video that they made prior to and it was on, and I was going, oh my god, this is just it. This is how it should be. You know what I mean? It was just incredible. And I know there's obviously a lot of money and everything thrown at that place, but to create something that's that just gets the people in the mood for them that split minute before the guys come out.
I think as well. We mentioned about the people we'd like to come. We'd like to get more fans in. And we'd like to attract more fans, even from an informative point of view as well. If it's a group of people who are coming down for the first time and they're seeing the players come out and they can't hear the tannoy like for the players and number 21 Corona or whatever. It's that's something that the PA system I think would be useful for if some people who have come down for the first time and they'd like to know who the players are, who they're looking out for. It's used in a lot of ways, isn't it? The PA system.
Very much so, yeah. Very, very much so.
Also, next game. The details of the next game.
Absolutely.
It's part of the sort of the marketing pitch, really.
Yeah, what food's available, where the bar is, because first time I went, I didn't even know there was a clubhouse at the back that you could go to during the game. So you can join the game, you can go and pick yourself a pint up, which you can't do at Standards, of course, can you? You know what I mean? So, and then that's all revenue as well, isn't it? So yeah, the PA is absolutely integral, I think, to not only just the match day experience, but obviously you can do a lot of advertising on it, etc., etc., etc.
It's a shame that the Moors haven't looked at that with their rise through the leagues as well. Now a national conference side, that you'd have thought that'd be something they've looked at. They've got that new standing and things. I don't know how much that costs, but it's little things like that help a team grow, I think. And I'm surprised the Moors haven't looked at something like that, because it is a bit, from a fan, you're standing there and the players come out and it's either blaring away and
in one section.
They have definitely looked at it. It is just a financial constraint that's stopped them actually.
But it's not just that, as I say, St Andrews as well. They need to, and I've written 2 or 3 times and complained about it. I'm a bit hard of hearing anyway through all the music that I've done over the years, so so it's even more important to me. I've actually got somebody probably doing sign language for 5 years' time for me. It's a poor old soul. Anyway, on to things related to the men just for a couple of minutes. Well, first of all, we do a Super 6 League here every week. You're very welcome to join it, David, if you wish.
A man working for Prozone. We're not going to. I don't want him coming into it with all his data research.
He doesn't take data, he said.
No, but
you don't listen to your own show.
He's got all the Premier League. He's got all the Premier League data.
Oh, right, there is that, isn't there? You would be very welcome to join in under an alternative name, a pseudonym. Yeah, so that would Fox Mr. Fun over there. I do have to. I hate my sister. She's thrashed me again this week. I was looking at it, 4 minutes to go till the end. Sharon was number 1.
I don't know why you do that to yourself.
I was number 2.
Why do you always do that? Why do you always look before the final whistle? Because you know that there's going to be at least 2 goals in the last 5 minutes.
Why does this man want to win
the FA Cup?
And it
always throws you out.
It's exactly the same, isn't it? You want to win, right? I can't play football, so I get excited over small things in life, you know what I mean? And we have the Super 6 League, which I'm not doing very good at, I must admit. So if you've any data you could throw my way, David, I'd be very grateful, to be perfectly honest with you.
At a price.
Seeing me. You can tell you're sitting next to the CEO, can't you?
It's been round.
But yeah, no, it's a bit of fun on a Saturday afternoon, and you've always got that, crazy chance of winning £250,000 somewhere. But,
very high.
but yeah, I was me and Sharon was number 1, I was number 2. All right, she was 11 points, I was 9, with 4 minutes to go, and then 3 teams scored, and I ended up with in about 28th position. And I was going mad in the pub, because we work in a pub on a Saturday afternoon. So I was gutted. You may or may not want to comment on this, and if you don't, then it's entirely up to you. But what would you take on the FIFA Poppy scenario?
Yeah, I think disgraceful from FIFA. I know obviously it's been rectified now with the news that's obviously come through that we can sort of do something. But I think for it to be disrespected like that, and I know people spoke about Ireland being able to do different things and one rule for one.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? The one rule for one rule for the other scenario.
Yeah, and I mean, you can kind of you try and flip it and go, can you see it from FIFA's perspective? And you go, well, it has to be X, Y, and Z, and could it be classed as that? And is it disrespectful to another nation and to everything else? You go, you know what? It's more than that.
The disrespectful bit for me was 2 of the nations that are taking part in the competition on Friday night are 2 of the most poignant nations reasons to do with the poppy. Obviously, with Wales and Ireland as well, there are others involved in it. But it was a coming together of the old firm, so to speak, and to just blatantly come out with it like that, I thought was way over the top. I've got my poppy on right now with my Birmingham City badge right in the middle. There you go, warm with pride. Warm with pride. Sharon's listening, so I can't say too much tonight. To be honest with you. Can't say too much tonight. I'll tell you off air. Okay. All right, so remind me before we go. I must tell you something off air before we go because the other half's listening. All right. I did that in sign language as well, didn't I?
It's good on camera.
Great for the FA to stick two fingers back up and say no, we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
But what an amazing show at Leicester, though. That was incredible.
Yes.
That really got me some goose. You don't like Leicester particularly, do you?
Hold on. No, I don't. No, not particularly.
But yeah, that was incredible. To have the whole of the stadium with cards on the seats. Just
brilliant performance, though, wasn't it?
I didn't watch it.
They're playing really well this season.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
Superb example of defending their league title. Well done, Leicester.
Well, they have got a league title.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
There is that, isn't there? Yeah, there is that. Yeah, and nobody can take that away ever. Once it's engraved on either the.
I don't know. Have you been to Serie A?
Well,
it can be taken away.
It can be taken off. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. Huddersfield result the weekend 1-1. Not too bad. The Duke scoring again. I think he's come on leaps and bounds. Hasn't scored obviously since we played them back in Bolton.
I got so much stick, didn't he, for when we signed him, and he hadn't scored since he scored for Bolton against us like 2 years ago. So, but to come in and I think that's 5 in 10 now, is it?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a brilliant. It's a inspired signing, I think, from Rowett. Obviously he could have gone anywhere, and probably a few teams didn't want to look at him because of his goal scoring record. But it shows in the right environment, in the right team, with the right backing from the staff. Then he's come really good for us at the moment. He's giving Donaldson that competition, so
which is good because we never had that before, did we? So
no, exactly.
And to come back as well from one down, like I saw you write something on social media.
I messed it up completely.
I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant. Right, the first goal has been so crucial in so many games, and then to ball one back, all good news.
Well, the last 2 games, Villa at home is going to be a tough game, and Huddersfield away, the start that they've had, and to go behind and get a point from both games, it's almost more satisfying. Obviously not point wise, but if we'd have won 1-0 at home to Villa and not deserved it, and then got beat at Huddersfield, the battling qualities of the team, something that we haven't shown over the last few years, the ability to come back when we are behind. But that's 2 games now where we have shown that resilience. We have shown the ability to bring players off the bench and make a difference, make an impact, and that's definitely more pleasing.
Do you get to go to see many of the men's games?
Due to our schedule and due to our games, not really, but I really want to go. I watched the U23 game of Birmingham, but not the men's team.
Not the men's team. Have you been?
Not yet.
I've been to one game.
Yeah.
It wasn't really excited, to be honest. It was one of the first. I can't even remember against who it was, but I was a bit disappointed, to be fair. But they're doing better now.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's definitely something that we should be positive about. Although we haven't won in 3 now, it's positive that we're making steps in the right direction, and I think it's something I can put to about the ladies team as well.
Yeah,
obviously, last season we were looking at we had our 11 out, and we were looking at the bench thinking, if we do go behind, I'm not sure how we're going to change this. But now we've got a squad. Some of the times this season we've looked at the bench and we've got so much to bring on off the bench that we can change a game if we're drawing or behind. We can change a game, and that's certainly the case with the men as well at the moment.
Great point away from home without the coffin.
Yeah, minus coffin. Yeah.
Did you see it?
You know what? From the weekend, I haven't called.
No. The coffin from last year when we went to Huddersfield.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, got you now.
Incredible. We had right. I just must explain.
This is good luck with this one.
That other team up the road, which we don't ever mention, who play just about 3 miles from our football stadium. Yeah. They got relegated last season, and we had a coffin built, and it was stood there, painted in claret and blue, and had Aston Villa's, genuinely, this is hilarious, Aston Villa's official florists make a wreath for us. And then they asked what time the funeral was. It was 3 o'clock on Saturday. And we took this coffin in a bus to Huddersfield and paraded it round the streets. Now, if you get a chance, go on YouTube tonight. Just type in Villa Coffin, it's there. And in the weekend, just the weekend and then the Monday, it had 5.5 million internet hits and was live on Sky.
5.5 million?
Yeah, 5.5 million.
Wow.
It was live on Fox News, all across America. Oh dear, it was so funny.
You didn't say very nice things about us.
No, she told us to grow up and put the coffin away. But it was so funny. Oh dear. But and then we had it back in and we sold it for £301 for the Birmingham Children's Hospital on eBay, which is just brilliant. It's just funny, hilarious. There's even a video. Now Chris doesn't like fun, right? As you can see by his po face, he's not a fun kind of guy.
Yeah.
But we have a video. On the video, you can see him stood by the bus laughing.
I don't think I'm
genuinely,
laughing.
you're laughing.
I don't think I'm laughing.
It genuinely is.
I'll question
It
whether it's
genuinely is.
laughter.
Dear. Tim, you should have took the coffin to soccer.
Yeah, oh,
Should have put Tim in it.
Yeah, I should have come over in it.
But it was hilarious because it was stood up there, wasn't it? It was just stood up there for weeks and weeks on end. And he had the gentleman involved who organised the makeover had 2 Leicester City fans make it and 2 Villa fans paint it.
Terrible.
Just brilliant. But to get their florist, their official florist, to make that wreath though was the icing on the cake. That was. Wonder what we got planned for this year. There's a few thoughts going there now.
I don't want to know.
No.
I'll wait until it happens.
Newcastle tickets are out on sale. That's the game we're hoping to get a bus organised for, isn't it, Mr. Brown?
It's not far away, eh?
No, it's
No.
December the 10th of December. So
Not
we need
far
to
away.
we need to get some things organised for that, and would like to pay a little tribute to our friend Amir.
No?
Amir is the ticketing man at St Andrews. He's the ticketing manager. Lovely guy, friend of the show. He's been in, but he managed to get to Arsenal 20 minutes late for the game the other day. So he wrote.
For the derby?
He wrote on his Facebook thing. Arrived 20 minutes late. Blah blah blah. I says, Amir, there's a clue on the ticket. It does tell you the kick-off
Imagine getting
time.
late for the derby.
Yeah, he got there late. 20 minutes late.
At
Bless him.
least he didn't miss a goal if it was 20 minutes late.
No. Right, next season then, guys. What's your aspirations for next season? What is it you genuinely feel that the club can attain next year? Like this really is sort of putting you on the spot, and it's a question that's so open-ended. And I know your manager and your CEO sat here, and you're going to be heard by about 20,000 people. But there you go. The floor's yours.
I think this season we did better than last season, but we can do better, much better next season. I think we all think the same. I think we are looking forward, and I think we can also beat Man City or Arsenal or get more points. So
That's really the Man City word just keeps coming up there time and time over. It's one of those ones that you're going to put so much into it. You know what I mean? It's going to be like a cup final one, and maybe that's one we can target at our place to get many of the Tilton boys down with their wives. Perhaps that would be right and proper to make some proper noise down there.
Yeah, for a game of that magnitude.
Yeah.
I mean, is it grueling for you that whenever it is always about Man City now?
You know why? It's not just about Man City. I think Man City is just the easy one to pull out because of what it looks like from the outside. It's not. Arsenal spent way more money on wages this year than Man City have.
They've just got Kim Little back, haven't they? But that wasn't cheap. So.
Yeah, she's not that good, is she? But no,
well, those Continental Cup finals would have been ours if it wasn't for her. I think a couple of those. So.
Kim Little's took the league title off us in 2011. Took the Continental Cup off us in 2012 individually.
Did you see her on the telly the other night? Alex Scott.
Yeah. So I can say getting promotion on national TV now. Been branded
as the bullies.
Branded as fighters. Yeah, Arsenal have got more yellow cards, more fouls, and more red cards than anyone else this year. So It's not always about perception, is it? But,
no, definitely not.
But no, from there, it's not just about Man City. It's Arsenal, it's Chelsea. And you can brand and throw money about, but it's how you use it. And I think Arsenal will be massively disappointed with their season this year, that they've spent more money than anyone. If you look at their budget and the numbers that will come out, that they haven't achieved. So it's not about money, it's how you use what you've got.
It's like you said earlier on there, David, you expected to stay in the division. That was your expectations this year.
No, that's what I was told to do.
But then that has to become your expectations. As a minimum.
Yeah.
As a minimum.
Yeah.
I must exceed that slightly.
Yeah.
But to come forth has been genuinely respectable. And, like a lot of these big teams probably look at you and write you off. They'll be thinking about it next year now.
Yeah, it's taken time. I think it was just 2015 just hit us hard, really hard, that everyone knew from Champions League semi-finalists, part-time, going against a world-class 11 in that semi-final and taking them right to the death, and 20 minutes from a Champions League final, that we are one of the big guns in women's football in this league. Our reputation abroad on the continent, hence the girls here, was probably and is better than what it is nationally, because people associate different things with us. But from there, it is about just how reputation was tarnished for one bad year, and it came at the wrong time with the way the league was growing and everything was building up. It just kind of like it really took a knock back to our kind of like credibility and also what we are as a football club. And all we've done is put ourselves back not where we belong, because you have to work hard to get where you go, but to put ourselves back on that pedestal to go, you know what, Birmingham are back and they're ones to be reckoned with, and everyone knows no matter what it's the hardest game people playing against us, and they fully recognise that. And so now it's about having the squad. You looked at the bench yesterday, that was some bench, and the girls that was
who were on the bench yesterday?
Oh well, we had there was Coco, Emily Westwood, and Isabel Linden,
Right.
not even in the squad. We had Ann-Katrin Bergen, Angelina Hegerberg, full Norwegian international, Aoife Mannion, who's played every minute for us on the bench.
Under the show.
Nice girl, Aoife Mannion.
Frida Aisi on the bench, Abby Lee Stringer, who else? And that's not even including some of the youngsters. And that was our bench, and we won 7-1 yesterday. So it shows where we've come to and where we're going. With that, but it's resources help.
And again, like I said, it wasn't just winning stuff, it was the quality of the goals. They were just every single one was a cracker. Have you watched them back on? Have you watched them back on?
Yeah.
Beautiful, yeah.
Well, she got one away.
Credit to the Sunderland goal who scored those. Hers was a very good goal too.
It's a
very
fantastic
good goal.
finish.
Yeah.
John's.
What? Sorry.
We've got good players here, and it's down to budget and what we're building for.
I don't think we'll be the only one interested in Beth Mead. So. No. But Kirsty scored a goal similar to that away at Arsenal in the Continental Cup semi-final last year, I think. So she's got it in her locker, and like Coco and Marissa, she's been unlucky with injuries over the last few, like seriously unlucky with injuries over the last 5 years, Kirsty, since she was at Arsenal. So. If she can stay fit, if we can get a fully fit squad, then if she can get on a run, then she's as good as anyone finishing in the league. So,
What was your last injury?
My last injury? I had problems with my hamstring. My hamstring didn't want to work anymore. No. Yeah, but in the end...
Problems with mine every morning. Don't worry about it.
I'm getting old as well. No, but credit to everyone here. I need to thank the staff and Birmingham that I'm back on the pitch. I think without them I would never play again.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's quite a nasty one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was.
And yourself?
I actually played a lot of games in Germany, but since I got here, no, I had some little injuries, but one big injury, like a broken rib. So that was quite nasty.
Yeah, well, they do hurt.
Against Chelsea. So that's why I'm calling you Rocky, maybe.
Yeah.
How long did they go? What did you say?
How long ago was the injury?
Yeah, like
August.
Yeah.
August. Did you play on? Did you play through it?
Yeah.
Like Rocky through it.
2 minutes.
I know. Yourself, you ever had any injuries?
Just psychological ones.
Yeah.
No, I think with the girls they've been. I mean, Marissa especially. I know, obviously, Coco. We knew obviously coming in that we were trying to work through an injury.
Was it a knee injury you had before as well? Did you have a knee injury before?
No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So
Now I
it
have
was-
a big problem with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just kind of like it was coming back. We knew what the diagnosis was and what the prognosis to get Coco back, and it just took longer than anyone expected really to go back. But like she says, now it's full credit to the medical team and the people that have got her to the place that she is. And I think Marissa's been extremely unfortunate. Contact injuries in training. She comes back, gets back into the team straight away against Chelsea, broken rib, comes back, takes a little knock again, and it's been unfortunate. But she's played like 7 seasons non-stop in Germany of almost every game. So yeah, sometimes those things happen, and maybe just adapting to the fierce pace of the English game. Yeah.
Do you find the pace of the English game is much faster than the German game?
It's definitely more physically.
Oh, you found
Yeah.
that. Shove that. Have you watched some of these YouTubes of the ladies having a dig at each other?
No.
Oh, Chris, I'll send you a link later. It's absolutely horrendous. It's horrible. You know, I wouldn't get up again. I wouldn't get up again after some of them. Dear me.
I think I saw that.
There's the
Have
one
you
where
seen it? Once
the
you
girl's
grabs
grabbing
like a
her hair.
Yeah.
This is famous.
The blood all going.
Yeah. Carl Fitzharris says, what's your thoughts on Denny Stokes' goal and what your reaction to it, and what do you do as a manager to pick players up after mistakes?
Well, I know he's probably getting at the goalkeeping mistake, but it was not. The mistake didn't come from her.
No.
The mistake comes a lot further from there. We didn't keep the ball in the opposition half, and those things happen. I mean, we all know it was a cross and it goes in, and just because it's a female goalkeeper, that it happens to men's goalkeepers up and down the country every weekend, but it gets highlighted. And I know it got brought up on the women's highlights show, which is tonight at Chris 10:30.
It might be later than that. Yeah, I think it's about 11 o'clock-ish. I think.
Yeah.
On BBC Two.
Yes, something like that. Yeah. So BBC 1 or 2, but she got pulled up for a mistake, and I think that was extremely harsh and I mean, how she's not the German number 1, and the girls will say how phenomenally talented, and we're so fortunate to have her at this football club. Obviously bringing them in from PSG was a massive marker for ourselves, but from there it's just you kind of like you get on with it, you dust yourself down, and we could have gone on and won the game. Charlie went very, very close towards the end, but obviously we held out, and she made some phenomenal saves. So mistakes happen, referees make mistakes, you have to deal with that and be prepared for it. It's part of your psychological mantra, really, to be able to keep going and going. And being Birmingham City, you try and just keep going and going and fight until the end.
As the song says.
Exactly.
And she was exceptional in the cup final as well, wasn't she? You know, without her in the cup final, it could have been 3 or 4 at half time. So, you know, she's certainly shown her quality. She's come into the club without a doubt. I think it's very harsh to pick on, you know, 1 or 2 mistakes, you know, which could be debated whether they were her.
Again, it's the trouble with social media nowadays. Everybody's a reporter, aren't they?
They are. Everyone wants to be a manager and a politician, and everyone thinks they can do it from their home. But it's a bit different when you're sitting in those shoes, and you have to make decisions, and you live and die by those. And people make mistakes all the time. I'm no different, and the staff are no different either. So, yep, it is. It's just one of those, and it's a
Pick yourself
merry-go-round.
up, dust yourself down, start all over again.
Absolutely.
That's the old song. You remember that song, Mr.
I don't know what you're about.
A bit of Val Doonican, I think it was.
Definitely not that old.
Tim Andrews, that's the guy off Sky News, surely, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah? I've got to find him now. I'm going to put this to bed once and for
Can I
all.
say before we
Go on,
wrap up
sorry,
the end of season dinner?
Oh yeah,
End of season awards rather is this coming Friday, you know, and that will be like the real celebration of the season. I think there are some tickets still available. Are they all sold out now?
Yeah, I think someone texted me today saying, "Can I sort them out?" And
okay.
basically it's gone.
Oh,
Fine.
fine.
But I mean that'll be a great evening to celebrate the successes. And I'm looking forward to seeing who's won what. Obviously I'll be CEO of the year, I think.
CEO of the year,
I'll get
yeah.
that one, won't
I think that's a fair.
You might get penalty taker of the year.
I? Best penalty. Yeah.
I think Coco's getting every present.
Yeah.
I think so.
But no, I'm really looking forward to that. You know, and I think it's my first year being involved, and you know, I think it's been one that I've really enjoyed. Really proud to be part of it. So it'll be an opportunity for a few beers, and
Surely not.
yeah, why not? So no, I'm looking forward to that.
Cool. What time's that on Friday?
We've got to be there for 6, haven't we?
Yeah.
6:30 open.
6:30,
6:30 open, and then it's a dinner and then the presentation.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, and that's at the Moors.
No, it's
St Andrews.
St Andrews,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
You going, Chris?
I am slightly adverse to social situations, so I'll don't.
Is that a no?
Yeah. I don't really like going to things like
Just
that.
say yes or no, so we completely understand what you mean.
It's a no. It's a no.
Look, I'll wait to listen to that again tomorrow. Right, are you going or not?
I'm not going.
You're not
no,
going, okay.
no. Was that easier? Sorry.
For me, yeah, far easier. I love the English language, don't you? Just love it, girls. Oh dear. So 6 o'clock then, dinner, presentation. What awards have been given this year?
We have managers player, players player, goal of the season, moment of the season, supporter of the season.
That's brilliant.
Supporter
Nice one.
player
I
as well.
applaud that. I absolutely applaud
Yeah.
that. Brilliant, yeah.
I think Coco got the fans having a fun at
Oh, it's supporter player of the year, not supporter of the year.
No, there is supporter of the
supporter
year
of
as
the
well.
year and supporters
supporter
player.
of.
Yeah.
I mean,
Excellent.
Coco's one supporter of the
Excellent.
year.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
that one. Mr.
Yeah, I think that's it's probably about six awards. I think.
Player of the year. I voted, but there was such a tough choice for Player of the Year this season. You really could have picked.
So
from
who did you
any
go
one of
for
them.
then?
He won't tell you.
Am I allowed to say?
Mr. Fun
Yeah,
won't.
you can do. Yeah.
You would. You
I
surely
voted
won't.
for Jess Carter.
Did you?
Yeah, I think she's been over the course of the season. She's been consistently brilliant. But so many of them have been. I could have picked many of them, but I went for Jess in the end. Have you decided on yours?
Yeah, it's been handed in a little while ago.
Are you going to let us know who's yours? No, Mr.
Yeah.
Fon's told us, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll tell you Saturday.
All right, don't forget to try and tune in to the Sky programme tonight then, guys. The Tilton Talk Show, 1.5 hours has just flown by. I don't know where that's gone to. Ladies, thanks ever so much for coming. Excellent result last night, and well done on a what is really genuinely, all of you, a tremendous season for Birmingham City. Everybody was expecting it not to be, but it's only down to your dedication, hard work, and the hard work of all the backroom staff and Tim and everybody. And let's just see if we can get you some more supporters, shall we?
Yeah.
I think that will be the big one
great.
for next year. That'll be a big one for next year. Waving the Blues flag, you can't beat it, can you? And it's weird because those two words just do something special for me. Birmingham City, I just love them. I just love it, everything about it. Can't help it. Always have done. Mr. Brown, in your new office. Thank you ever so much. Glad you weren't on camera, especially in the lovely shade. Well, the thing is, we've got all new
The camera's probably
first time long story short, his last communication to me was, no, you're not having any guests in tonight. I'd rather not have any tonight because of all this kids and if anything goes wrong, I'll look for it. And I just checked my phone just before the ring to find that you guys were all there.
Wish I had a shave.
Hey ho. Listen, this is what we do every Monday. We fight your cause, believe me, we fight your cause. And Chris is an absolute gem. He's a gem to have literally beside of me every week because he's so knowledgeable, genuinely, not bigging him up or anything like that. But he genuinely is a very, very knowledgeable guy. And he always talks the truth about the ladies football club, and whether that's good or bad, whether he's enjoyed his experience or not, he'll like him because he says it is. That's why we call him Mr. Fun. Mr. Fun. You'll remember that face forever, ladies. You'll remember that face forever. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks again. Enjoying like that inside, you deserve it very, very much. And let's get you in before the season starts next year, and then see how things have progressed and how things are travelling on and all your preparations. And I do promise you we'd like to get in one day and do that training day with you.
Definitely.
And again, we can highlight all the hard work and professionalism that goes along with it. Thanks ever so much indeed. Say hi to Aoife when you see her, friend of the show, and the other Chloe, yeah. They've also been in, so that's 4 we've got now. We've got a shirt up there we'd like you all to sign before you disappear, if you don't mind. We auction those at the end of the year. And unfortunately, I didn't know you was coming, so I didn't print my notes. And with you to get our guest to sign the notes as well, because we put them in the book. And we've had all sorts in this year. We've had Tom Ross and loads of people.
Yeah,
Mike
Mike
Wyden.
I enjoyed that show.
What a nice guy. What a nice guy.
It's really good.
He bought a bottle of wine in with him, yeah. All right, gents, put that on the table. Let's have a loosener. Right, it's gone 9 o'clock. Keep right on to the end of the road. Next up, Bristol City in 2 weeks' time. International break next week, so we'll be talking probably about
talk about Rooney's
the
hat-trick.
poor performance from Wayne Rooney.
Oh, what are you doing?
Just whining. David, girls, and Tim. I can't remember the names because I'm like that.
Karina and Marissa.
Thanks ever so much for coming. Great season. Keep right on to the end of the road, and keep loving the Blues, whatever you do.
Good night.
Good night.
We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the Blues. We love you, what more can we say? Birmingham City, down at St Andrews, we are